Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, September 24th. I am John. All right, that was Chance the Rapper with Sunday Candy taking us into our first podcast. And Matt is going to give you a rundown of the show today.
What's going on, guys? How you doing today? We're going to start off with winners and losers. I like to call that W and L's. Next, we're going to go in TV and music. Like what's hot, what's going on. Recently with Netflix and whatnot. Then we're going to run right into our college segment. We're going to focus on what do you miss most about college.
I like that.
You like that, right?
I
know you like that.
Good one.
Next, we're going to go into our feels segment. We're going to kind of talk about how you feel about what current events, just whatever's going on in today's world. And lastly, we're gonna finish it up with the bet segment. Who you like for the spreads and whatnot. So it should be some pretty good games, some good matchups this week. So I think it'll be pretty exciting.
All right. So let's start off with our W and L's.
Love it.
So let's give our listeners a little bit of an explanation of how this works.
Fair enough.
So every week we're going to do our NFL bets with the spreads. Whoever wins the most bets out of the two of us will produce the winner of the week. So anyone in the news that we think is a legend for the week will be the winner. And some guy that's just had a really shitty week is going to be the loser of the week. So since this is our first week, we'll both produce a winner and a loser. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll start it off. I really want to focus on my winner this week. And it's really not so much this week as it is the whole month or the second half of the month of September, and that's going to be Aaron Judge. So this guy is like a guy who was just completely targeted by the media coming after the All-Star break, right? He had 34, 35 home runs before the home run derby. He had so much pressure on him, and I'm not going to lie, he choked a little bit in the second half. I'm sure you, as a Met fan, you would agree.
I loved it too.
I know you were rooting for that choke.
He was just striking out every at bat.
But now here's the thing. Here's where he didn't strike out. I'm sure you saw the tabloids and the social media. His girlfriend, and that's what you got to love about 2017. He took a girl to the U.S. Open. I forget her exact name. It really doesn't matter. But she was very good looking.
She was.
And I think we saw little signs, kind of shades of Derek Jeter there, where he kind of he started to loosen up a little bit, and he started to just live his life a little bit more freely. But he's picking it up in September, and honestly, his batting average is going up, and I think the Yankees have a serious shot of making a run with him.
So a loser of the week here would be braces, right? Because clearly you don't need them if you can have a huge gap in the middle of your teeth.
My loser of the week. This is actually the week. Kevin Durant, this guy.
Boy. But as I'm wearing my Kevin Durant jersey,
as you're wearing your KD jersey, and I love it because it's a Seattle throwback.
It is a Seattle
Shout
throwback.
Out to the Miami City, right? But I really think he's the biggest loser of the week because we look at this guy like a god. Like he was right next to LeBron, the number 2 guy, right? It was LeBron, then KD. But once he went to Golden State, we saw his weakness come out. Like he did not want to really compete. He wanted to just have that easy title. And now, as we keep following him, we start to realize that he's still like a 12-year-old. So it makes it even worse now. It's like a double whammy. It's like a 1-2 punch now. And I lost a lot of respect for him, but I do think it's funny, and I think he did play it off pretty well. But
yeah, I mean, this reminds me of when Twitter first came out. I was in.
How old are you? Because you're a couple years younger than me. So
I gotta be probably a freshman in high school.
And you know what was unique about when Twitter first came out? It was because it was right around the BlackBerry stage. So there was BlackBerry Messenger, but then Twitter. So then it was you don't need a BlackBerry anymore.
But what this reminds me of is in high school when you started first getting those big fights on Twitter,
Right.
With everyone.
And you have to. It's fun.
Even the nerd of your high school was like chiming in, like,
and that's where Twitter fingers came from. The nerd was able to like have a voice almost, you know.
And it reminds me like what Kevin Durant is doing here, making fake Twitter accounts.
How do you even have the time for that if you have so much money?
I mean, it's his off season.
Wouldn't you want to be like in the club, like in the pool? Like if you think about it, if you had that much money, you could if you wanted a pool in your backyard, you hire someone to go build a pool and you have girls come over. If you want to go to the club, you get bottle service. Why are you making fake Twitter accounts? That's something you do if you're like poor, right? Like,
I don't really know. I mean, Kevin Durant's different, and like he said, like I drink beer and have acne just like all you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and if you should let that acne thing out.
You know what?
Chances are even going more down for.
But you know what? You're not just like me because you're 7 feet tall, you're black, and you can dunk a basketball, and I can't.
Right.
So don't play the card that you're just like all of us because you're one of the most rich athletes on the planet.
Right.
You know. Who cares what some guy that's making $30,000 a year working in his garage is saying about you?
But the funny thing about it is that even if you took someone who was making like $800,000 a year, like a doctor or a lawyer, like that person is still so irrelevant to your life. Like,
exactly.
You're making I think he donated like $1 million to the tornado relief in OKC back in the day. So this guy's got money to blow.
Yes.
The fact that you have a fake Twitter account is humbling to me. It gives hope for me. It's like, wow, like we all are kind of the same a little bit, you know.
Very. I mean, like if Kevin Durant was sitting in this room right now, he's the odd man out.
Well,
he's nothing.
I honestly think if he came and sat in the room,
you think me and Kevin Durant are more similar than me and you?
No, but
we're related.
What I was going to say though is that, and that's funny because we are related. But I think that if he came in here, I think because of the whole Twitter thing, I'd be like, hey, what's up, KD? Hey, what's up, man? Because now it's like he's just a normal dude.
Yeah, he'd be like, hey, guys, just don't make fun of me,
Whereas if LeBron walked in, I'd be like, oh, my God, like, I'd have so many questions. I'd be like, even if we talk trash about LeBron, like, I'd be like, oh, my God, like you know, can you tell me about your life? Like, you know, like, I would be like a little, like,
oh, yeah,
shell shock. I'd be a little, like, starstruck.
Kevin Durant has definitely stooped down to just, like, a normal person on social media at this point.
He's literally, now if he posts something on Instagram, he's going to be like Kevin Hart now, kind of. Which kind of, right, is that, did you,
yeah,
you were trying to say about Kevin Hart, right?
Yes, before I do, I just, proposal to take away Kevin Durant's blue check mark on all social media. But yes, Kevin Hart, definitely, I think I got you beat on the loser of the week in this one.
That's got to be the loser,
I mean, come on, guy gets caught cheating by his wife.
Oh, dude, it's like,
but
it doesn't end there, though.
You know what? Yeah, it doesn't end there. And I'll tell you right now, 21st century, cheating happens. It does.
It does.
As sad as it is.
It sucks, but it happens.
As sad as it is, it happens. But that's not why he's the loser of the week. This guy...
yeah, all right, I'm curious.
This guy tries to save himself, and he posts a video on Instagram being very... He looked very sincere.
Right.
He looked like...
and I give him credit.
He looked like he was about to cry. And you know what? A guy that's what is he, 5 feet tall, 5 feet flat?
I think he's like, I don't know if he's short, but he's pretty short though.
You know what? If you're with a girl and she's not that hot, and you're 5 feet tall, and some smoke comes up to you, I mean, can you really blame him? Short guys can't get a lot.
And you know why I agree with that statement? Because he, like, if you think about it, like, that growing up, he probably thought every opportunity is precious.
Exactly.
Now he's rich and stuff, and he's not used to being rich. Almost, he's kind of still getting used to it. Almost like he's like, all right, where do I stand?
See, he's a guy. He's a guy for a long time. He's a guy that can handle the fame. Kevin Durant is not. Okay, but all right, so he makes this video, right? Sincere apology, and you would think, oh, like look at him. He's sad. He's crying. It just went further downhill for him because our friends at House of Evo Entertainment remixed his apology video.
Oh, we got to hear that then. I don't know if I heard it. I think I might have heard like another one.
Oh, I think I got it right here. So, yeah, here it is. Let me play it. This is Kevin Hart's apology video remixed by our friends at House of Evo Entertainment.
Wow. I can't wait.
Better.
Oh my God.
Kevin Hart.
Wow. Oh, I like that part. It's almost like KD now.
Oh yeah, this is bad.
I think I've heard enough of this video. This is like, it's almost hard to watch because it's like,
You know,
hard to listen
you
to.
think he would make a comeback with a sincere video, and he's just going further downhill. So he's gotta be.
You know what I think the social media community should do? They should have KD and Hart. Someone needs to pay them both just to make this video together and be like and apologize together, maybe as two people. And like, you know how tall KD is and how short Hart. That would be the best thing on the internet.
I think you know what I think would be one step better if we got a GoFundMe together.
Okay,
and
I'm sure people have done that.
And
though,
just
right?
pay
Right.
Kevin Hart and Kevin Durant to just delete all their social media because it's clearly not working for them.
Right. I know
You
the
know.
money obviously isn't, and that's a good point. That's an interesting point because it's almost like the money was never really an issue for them. So clearly, if we set up a GoFundMe, like they have so much money that now it's almost like they're just not happy as human beings.
You know, yeah, no,
and that's why they got the L.
Money can't buy happiness, and that's the truth.
And you know what? That's why I like the whole Kyrie Irving thing because he said he took less money, right, just to go to Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I would take $10 million.
Kyrie is a winner here.
I would
Kyrie's
take
a winner
$10 million less to go to Boston just because you can actually get normal food there. In Cleveland, you can't even probably get a cheeseburger or a slice of pizza. So
all right, so let's. So
saying.
Kevin Hart, Kevin Durant are our losers of the week.
Right.
Anyone out there named Kevin? We're sorry, you're a loser.
Yeah, I just picked up.
Any Kevin,
I just
right?
picked up on that.
Any Kevin.
Any Kevin, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Kevs. Let's move on to our winners.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So who do
Oh,
you
you
like?
have you?
I
no,
like
you
my winner.
You
Yeah.
gave you
Yeah.
gave me
Who
my
do you,
winner. I'm
who
sorry.
do you like for your winner?
You know what? I had trouble with this one, and it's probably not a great one, but
Okay.
I have Charles Barkley right now as my winner.
Okay. We were saving the best for last. for sure.
Stumbled on a picture of him.
Okay.
Don't worry, he was clothed.
Thank God, right? He really does.
No, but it's not thank God though because he's in shape now.
Oh,
no
okay.
homo.
Yeah.
You know,
he
he looks very good. He lost 45 pounds.
Right.
Like all vegetable diet, looking great.
Could you imagine if he actually exercised? Like I feel like all his weight loss is just.
I
it's
can't
just
imagine.
nutrition. It's
I
just
can't
food,
imagine
right?
he exercised. Imagine his golf swing was good too.
Oh,
He'd be a good golfer.
He kind of
now.
pioneered that like
Bad golf swing.
That bad golf swing. That's actually like a good golf swing. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? You know.
So, props to him for losing weight. You know, it reminds me of Jonah Hill, where it's just
Right.
dude, like you're skinny now, and like I feel like you kind of have to be fat to be funny.
Well, that's kind of a good point though, because with the whole Jonah Hill thing, like they're both on TV, so they do need to fluctuate. Like I agree with what you said. He needs to be fat to be funny. So they're both on TV though, so it's an interesting thing. It's like, do you want to be fat to be funny, or do you want to be in shape on TV? It's such like a hard, like, what do you want from them? Like, you want them to look good on TV, but then you also want them to be fat and silly.
But yeah, like when all you know about them is them being fat and funny, seeing them skinny and funny, it's just like, well, who is that guy?
Right.
Who is that?
Sometimes
You're not Charles. Where's
Sometimes
Charles?
Jonah Hill's jokes really aren't as funny when he's like in shape.
He had
You're
one
right.
movie, I forget what it was, where he was skinny and it was just like dreadful.
Right.
And he literally gained weight after that, and then his next movie was funny again.
Right. Yeah.
But, breaking news here. I think we got a new winner of the week.
I just got an alert on my phone. What do you
Carmelo
got?
Anthony to the Thunder.
That's
so
ridiculous.
Winner Thunder, winner Western Conference. Everyone's moving out west.
Wait, I literally thought he was like going to like that. Was
I thought he was going to Houston. Yeah.
The narrative was he's going to go to Houston and he's going to be with Chris Paul and James Harden and what Eric Gordon. They have a good team in Houston, but now he's in OKC.
You know what? Yeah, Houston, OKC, very comparable teams. Like winning wise,
This is actually insane. Like he's going to he's going to be on OKC. So is Durant going back to OKC now?
I don't think so. I think Durant's too busy making more Twitter accounts.
He's gonna tweet at Melo. He's gonna
Tweet
be like,
Melo with his
he's gonna
Twitter,
be
with
like,
his-
I'm with Lala right now. I'm with your wife or your ex-wife.
with his fake
with
account.
your son.
His fake account.
Right, I have your son in your penthouse apartment. He's playing Xbox One.
Oh man.
You need to deliver me $800,000, or the equivalent of what a lawyer makes.
That is a very good pickup for the Thunder though. I don't like to see it.
That actually,
I'm a Nuggets fan.
It actually hasn't even sunk in. To be honest with you, when I saw it, I still really don't believe it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but
as a Nuggets fan, there was I would just like daydream like, what if he went back to Denver? Like that would be.
well,
nuts.
I really liked Melo in Denver because it was like a culture type thing. Like him and AI. How long were they together for?
Not long.
Not long. But that's what I remember though. I remember him and AI and
JR
and dude and
they had a good
it was
squad.
like a culture,
Birdman.
It was kind of like a culture
Oh,
thing.
dude,
It was
they
kind of put Denver back on the map.
They put Denver on the map.
Right.
Basketball wise, they were never on the map until Melo came.
Until Melo came, right.
And dude,
No, it's harder to play in Denver because the altitude, right? Like the
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's harder to breathe there.
Because I was gonna say Melo was in better shape then. He
Well,
should go back.
obviously.
He should almost go back to Denver.
Well, obviously, and that's also because
was he skiing? Was he skiing there too?
skiing?
Yeah, like was
no,
he?
I don't think.
No, people.
I,
That's not like a thing.
I don't
right?
think his kind do that. But I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I
Come
think
on,
you're right.
Come
No.
on. When was the last time you went to a ski resort and saw someone looking like Melo skiing down? Skiing down?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, no, that's not like racist or stereotypical. I think you're like.
I mean, it is,
No,
but-
I think you make a good point. Like, I don't think like certain people just don't do certain things. Like white people don't go to certain places. Like it's not like it's not. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
not like a bad.
No, it's
You
just
know?
it's just you know
Like,
it's
you're, like yeah,
culture.
It's a culture thing. That's cool.
So yeah, it's harder. It's harder to breathe in Denver. But the thing is, if you train there all year round, like you'll be like that's why the Nuggets are so
Right.
good at home.
Well,
that's why Denver's so
that's
good
like
at home.
Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, right? They say like, oh, when the U.S. men's soccer team goes there, they have to train so hard.
US. Let's
Yeah,
not
well,
get started with that.
That's
team.
losers for the year.
I really hope they don't
like
make
for like
the World
like
Cup.
10 years, 100 years. Yeah,
If they don't make the World Cup, that'd be so funny. And I
it really is sad. Like, there's so many soccer fields in America. Like, you go to every public school, there's just like a soccer field, right? And like, we're not good at it.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, the funny thing is, there's no basketball. There's not good basketball courts, but we're good at basketball. Like, there's not like some of the courts we have are pretty like not good. If that even makes sense. They're pretty run down.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Those are
Yeah.
those are our W and Ls.
Yeah. W.
What do we got? What do we got next?
So I think
got,
so TV and like music, like
what's going on? Oh, I like.
I
this
mean,
segment.
a lot's going on because I think we live in a culture where we just watch TV now, but it's not actually on TV. It's through whatever device has Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix and
I
chill.
think Netflix is the coolest thing. I hated it at first. I was like, I don't like Netflix. It was like Snapchat with me. I hated it at first. Now it is so
Oh,
awesome.
it's awesome! It's awesome. I actually.
And now, are you a big Netflix and chill guy? Like, are you?
I'm not a Netflix and chill guy. I'm a Fire Stick and Dick guy.
What's the other one? Hulu and what is it? Like Hulu and something?
I don't know who the fuck
I don't.
has
A lot
Hulu?
of people.
No one has Hulu.
I know. I feel like Hulu's like.
If
a
you
myth.
have Hulu, like, what are you doing? Come
Hulu's
on.
like a myth. It's like the off-brand soda that like
Yeah.
you know people are buying because they're in the stores.
It's like
but
it's
not-
like Amazon. Like, can you like have like an Amazon?
I hate
movie
when people
account or
say that.
something?
They're like, oh, like I don't watch Netflix. I have this and that. It's like,
Well,
how do you
but
not have
no,
Netflix,
but
right?
I have the Fire Stick,
Okay.
and you can.
Okay, anyway, what
quote
do you
on-
like on it though? What do you like on the Fire Stick? Like, what
Alright,
TV
so
shows?
so this is just 5 seconds. I hack it,
Okay,
and I could get into Netflix without having a Netflix.
so it's almost
account.
like you have Netflix via Fire Stick.
Yes,
Is that
for
the word
free?
via or
For
via?
free.
Via.
What, who cares?
Like, we don't even know anything anymore.
Yeah, we didn't go to college for English.
Right.
So,
Thank God. Probably could have met a few cute girls though if we went for English, right? A lot of like girls.
I'm sure there's a lot of girls like write.
Right, they
you
write,
know,
and they're like, and if
journalism.
you write that they like think you're like you could be the ugliest guy, but if you like you like wrote
Yeah,
something,
like you're an ugly
I
guy.
am.
And you got a book.
I have a book.
No, you're a good
It's kind of
guy.
like a Ponzi scheme. What I did, I kind of just like wrote a book and I'm like ugly. I don't know, whatever.
Nah.
Anyway, my favorite show on
this-
Netflix-
No, our jeans are not bad jeans. We're all good.
Right, well, I have
guys.
Levi's. What jeans do you? What are you wearing? Are you like joggers or?
I-
Oh, you meant jeans like our family? Okay, that works. Like what, I was talking about the actual. Jeans.
No, I was not talking about. Oh my god! All right. Here's. I want to start. Let's start with music.
Okay, good because we got sidetracked there.
A Boogie is my guy.
I love A Boogie.
My
You know what's
guy.
funny? It's A Boogie with the hoodie, right?
A Boogie
So
with the
if
hoodie.
you think about it, people keep saying, "Oh, people are jocking Melo's hoodie sweat."
No hoodie.
He kind of jocked A Boogie, right?
Yeah.
Because it's A Boogie with the hoodie.
Yeah.
right? He was definitely like working out to A Boogie with the hoodie.
You know, it's
Yeah.
all props in the media, but A Boogie coming out with
Right.
his first studio album on the 26th.
Oh no way! That's actually when it like drops. Wait,
Yeah,
September
he's got-
September 26th.
I believe it's September 26th.
And like you're a big A Boogie guy.
I love A Boogie.
But see,
It's
I
called
like-
The Bigger Artist.
I like some of his like low key songs that aren't as. I'm pretty sure this is A Boogie. 99 Problems and Messages. You know that song?
I do not.
Okay, that's a pretty cool song. Like I unless I butchered it, unless that's a different.
I
artist.
don't know. But
Okay.
but his Drownings on this album,
I mean,
that's on the radio.
For some
Everyone
reason, when
heard
that
it.
song comes on, I'm like, I kind of get in like this cool mood.
You start drowning, you know?
Yeah. It's if you think about it in life, you always want to drown in the money, girls. Even if you have a lot of problems, whatever. You're drowning. Whatever.
I'm gonna play his song "Say Ah" in the outro to this podcast. I really like it.
Okay.
Really like it. I think it's a good outro for this podcast.
Okay, cool.
So he's really the only thing I got going on in music.
Right.
I don't really see anyone else.
So for me in music, a lot of people, like a lot of girls would be like, oh, like what type of music do you like? I swear to God, I like all type of music. Like,
Except what?
Well, that's always the make or break with the girl. So you say country, you get that cool girl who's like, oh, I hate country, but then you get the girl that's like the deal breaker. Like, she wants you to like country.
Yeah, I will
So
never
what do you do, though? Do you
I will
say I like it?
never like country for a female.
But here's the thing, though. If what you have to do is you have to creep their social media account and see
yeah.
if they're big country girls.
Oh, yeah.
Because what you could do is you could play it off cool. You could be like, yeah, I like rap. I like Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, country. I like country. Like, you know what I mean? Like, throw it in at the end. Like, you don't have to. Just
Kenny Chesney is the only guy I can listen to.
But see, you tell that to a girl, and like you're now you're in like the family. Like, she's introducing you to like the aunts and uncles, and like you're going to like barbecues in the summer.
But
right?
But if she gonna bring me along to country concerts, I can't do that. Man.
Here's the cool thing about it. It's a big drinking culture, right?
It is.
So if you want to get like,
I gotta get shit faced.
You want to get like, see, I feel like the millennials, like us, me and you, we just want to like get drunk, right? Like, we don't. Do we really care? Like, you could say, "Hey, I'm taking you to a gay bar." Like, you might not be gay, but like, you're like, "Do they serve alcohol?" And like, your gay friend's like, "Well, yeah, it's a gay bar," and you just go. You know what I mean? Maybe you meet a cute girl who's with her gay friends, right?
Yeah, I mean, if
I'm
you
going off on
if
like
you
a 10,
if you want to go to gay bars,
I'm not going to gay bars.
Okay,
I'll go to a lesbian bar though.
I don't think I would go to that either.
Okay.
Because what's in it for you? There's nothing in it for you. You're gonna.
No, I think.
All right, you know what? No, let's move on to TV.
Well, TV.
Yeah.
My favorite show on Netflix right now is not anymore because I finished it, but I really liked Friends from College. Did you watch that?
I did not.
You know why I liked it? I'm just gonna like throw it out why I liked it. It's so realistic. I'm only 24, but Friends from College is like they're all 40-year-olds and like they still like miss college. Like it's like they went to Harvard. It's kind of like a part of them. It's a little corny because they chose Harvard as the school. It's a little like unrealistic for like the regular average Joe. But like I don't know. I got
into Harvard.
You did, right?
No.
Okay. Because I got waitlisted into Dartmouth. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when I say waitlisted, they meant like when I went to go on campus. They said no, you're gonna have to wait in the parking lot. Like that's what I mean by.
No, we don't let homeless people on our campus.
They're like, dude, you got to put a tie on if you want to come here. It's like I can't get in here. Are you serious? Like,
Pizza.
Even the security guard was like, how much money do you make? I'm like,
Pizza,
wow.
Pizza Hut's across the street, guy. What are you doing?
That's funny.
All right, so that's your pick.
Yeah, Friends from College. I just love it. I don't know.
I was watching with my two friends the other night. American Vandal.
I hear it's like all the. I know that's Jimmy Tatro, right?
Yeah, he's social media famous. He posts funny videos.
That's like his big financial break. He probably got paid for that.
They make. Let's not talk about how much money
he wasn't making money before that, though, right?
Like, they make money, bro.
Well, because of the subscriber, but he wasn't
ads
making
like
stupid money. No. He was making like modest money.
So this show is literally about a student who is known for drawing dicks on whiteboards. That's all he does.
Oh, it's actually real. I thought it was a joke at first. The trailer.
It's fake.
But no, right. But I thought the whole idea of the show was actually a joke. I thought it was just like a spoof. Like, we're not actually going to make this show. They actually made that show.
Yeah, it's a Netflix. It's an 8-episode.
You have to love 2017. Right.
So yeah, oh yeah. So this guy literally draws dicks on a Spanish teacher's whiteboard like every day.
It's like
and
fun.
then all of a sudden, 27 cars get spray painted with just monster dicks.
Oh my god.
And like everyone points the finger at him and all the evidence points towards him.
Right.
And his classmate makes a video like investigating it.
Right.
And it's just there's so many twists and turns and it's so
almost like
funny.
They stole that from like Superbad.
So fun. Oh yeah.
I just draw pictures of dicks, right? Like, when he like drops that line,
So I would watch that. I would do it with your friends.
Right, because you don't want to watch it alone, right?
No, you'll laugh out loud with your friends. Drinking game, every time they say the word dick in American Vandal,
just drink.
I was doing that. 15 minutes into the first episode, I had like 4 beers down.
It's pretty funny. That's pretty like a cool like concept. It's like something to do.
It is
like when you're not watching like sports and stuff like that.
Like Thursday night, every Thursday night when the NFL game sucks because they have.
You know what's crazy? I don't even get that channel like on my TV. It's funny because I don't like care unless my fantasy guy's in it. So I don't even
honestly,
care.
You're not missing anything.
Right. Thursday night's like I'm not ready for football on Thursday night.
No.
Like I'm ready for American Vandal, but not. No.
I'll watch college football on Thursday night.
Right.
I will not watch I will not watch the LA Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Do you kind of feel like Thursday night's like a hit or miss night? Like it's like sometimes people are down to hang out, and sometimes people are like, oh no, it's only Thursday.
Yes.
It's like a hit or miss. It's like a hit or miss night. Like,
And except for me in the summer, I do not
Right.
miss a Patty Power Thursday.
I can't,
Karaoke
yeah.
Thursday.
I'm like kind of jealous because
Oh,
like
man.
that's like your ish.
Yeah, because you went to a Catholic school, so
Yeah.
you don't know
Parochial
all,
school, right?
you don't know all the kids from Merrick that really go there.
Yeah, it's definitely like a local crowd.
It is.
You know what
It
I mean?
is.
But at the same time, I'm sure you do get a few people like, oh, where are you from? Like a few towns over. By the way,
Oh,
if you didn't know, we're from Merrick, which is like, you know, a hamlet outside of New York City. I say hamlet. Is that how you pronounce it? Like on Wikipedia, that's how they would describe it. Like
Yes.
a hamlet located outside.
Yes, yes.
What does that even mean? A hamlet? Like a town? It's like a, like a village?
Isn't Hamlet like Shakespeare?
That's what
or
I thought.
something?
It said like a hamlet or a hamlet?
I have no idea where you're going.
Like when you go on Wikipedia and you say, oh, I'm from Merrick.
I don't really
Look
go
it
on
up.
Wikipedia, man.
You're right.
You know,
You're
I
right.
really just-
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So we did our TV and music segment. How are we looking on time right now?
I think we're.
Pretty
I mean,
good.
well, we have another segment I really want to talk about, and we were kind of just. I was kind of segueing into it earlier when I was talking about Friends from College, my favorite show on Netflix, and like that's what I kind of want to ask. Like, what do you miss most about college? And I feel like this is like a good question for you because like you killed it at college, right? Like we all did. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I
killed it.
I wouldn't say I killed it, but
Right.
I definitely had a good time. You know, It
Right. So
wasn't-
like, what do you miss most? Like your raw honesty, like
you know what I miss most? Once you get that off-campus house,
yes,
and you know, like you have, like you're not responsible enough to own a house,
Right.
But you're doing it anyway. Like
Right.
you're thrown into the fire. Like here we go, we got a house.
You
Like,
just got it, yeah.
and
you
you're just like,
You're kind of
all
like,
right, we got
you are thrown into it a little bit because then you have like fines you have to pay, and you have like
Yeah,
you
like,
I mean,
oh, there's
you
a
shouldn't have
whole-
fines, but you might get a fine from like a cop or like
yeah, like kids would be peeing on my kitchen floor. Like, all right, like why are you peeing on my kitchen floor right now?
right. Okay,
And
that's
it's, you know-
a little weird, but all right, yeah.
You know what? It's very weird, and the weirdest thing is it's happened to me like 3 times. But
Right.
yeah, but
So you
like,
miss the off-campus house?
no, I missed the off-campus house because just
Right.
the stories that you get living off-campus.
It's so sick.
You
right?
throw-
and now
you-
you were off for 2 years. That's perfect.
Yes, yes,
That's perfect.
And I when I was in Florence too, I had a
Well,
little
obviously, well,
apartment.
now you're very off-campus. You're,
Yeah.
like, you're off the grid. At that
Off
point.
America,
People are
you know?
texting you. They're like, "Hey, are you all right?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I get no reception." It's almost like we treat other countries besides America like third world countries. Like, oh, I don't know, like I don't know if I can text you right now. It's a little
Oh
weird.
man, yeah, no, abroad was nuts.
I mean, that's
Nuts.
so. Like, what's the coolest thing you miss about abroad in Florence in your apartment? Like, you're in your
In my-
apartment in Florence. What do you miss most about
I'll
it?
tell you what, I don't
But
miss.
don't be like PG though. Don't be too.
No. I don't miss a damn thing about the apartment I had in Florence.
Wasn't that hot?
because
Probably wasn't that great.
I'm
probably.
telling you, like it was the size of a hallway. In
Well,
a
I think that's what
house.
deters people away from studying abroad. They're so used to like the easy college dorm, like they're used to the easy like apartment in their college, like with all the girls, and they don't want to like step out. That's pretty cool. Like,
But you
step
know
outside
what?
your comfort zone a little bit.
You know what? I
Yeah.
really only use that apartment to sleep in.
Right. Okay.
You know, when you're in Florence, there's so much to do.
and you're like kind of taking it all in.
You're
not-
taking it
yeah,
all in.
yeah,
You're not
yeah.
spending time in your apartment. You know.
Right. It's almost just a roof. It's really just a roof.
But as far as the living conditions there, I don't really miss it. But I had some nice Airbnbs.
Okay, that was kind of like the beginning, almost of like the not the beginning, but like that's when Airbnb really like started.
Oh
You were-
yeah. I'm pretty sure like myself, I myself like boosted up Airbnb.
Right, because you kind of just like what did they say?
I got an Airbnb in
You
Belgium,
manipulated the
Amsterdam.
Imagine someone like a FBI guy knocks on your door. You're just like, yo, we got
did
you for
you-
insider trading.
Yeah, did you see this guy in Paris? Got an Airbnb and he was like
Neymar?
No, not Neymar. Not Neymar. Neymar is definitely not getting Airbnbs.
Okay, yeah.
This guy in Paris who was like really depressed. It's actually really sad. He's
Yeah,
really depressed.
okay.
Got an Airbnb,
Okay.
and he did like $50,000 worth of damage in this girl's
Oh, okay.
apartment.
So did you get charged for it? Or?
He used
Well,
he
obviously,
used
right.
he used like her bed as a bathroom.
Oh, wow.
He like unplugged.
But see,
everything.
now that's the danger of Airbnb, is that there's no real...
But she's getting her money back. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that is
but
the danger.
you know what it kind of reminds me of Airbnb? It kind of reminds me of like Venmo. Like Venmo? Because
Yeah.
it's not really like legit.
It's not legit.
It's like a millennials version way of being legit. Like, I'll send you money through my Venmo.
Yes, but all right. So back to college segments. What do I miss the most? Definitely living off campus. The big pre-games you would have,
Dude, the pre-games
dude,
were
and
always
you
dope.
you feel like such a champ owning that house.
Yeah.
and, like you got the aux.
Right,
like,
right,
you're
right.
like running.
And like
you know,
girls are so dumb to. I mean, girls aren't dumb, but like at the time, girls were so dumb that they like literally think that some of the guys are like paying for it on their own. They're like, "Oh my god, this is your house."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is mine.
Yeah.
It's like I work a second job off campus.
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah, right?
And then the girls are like, "Oh my god, you go to school, you work, you have your own place."
Yeah,
It's like,
like,
all right,
come on,
like my
come
mom
on.
and dad are paying for literally everything.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like the funny part about
as
it.
as
you know?
is like pretty much like 95.
Everyone.
Yeah,
There's always that
95%.
one kid
Who pays
that
for
you
it on
live with
his
and pays for it on his own, and like he's such a dick because he's so stressed.
Yeah,
Like he's always like taking his taking his hat off and like rubbing his head like I don't know I'm gonna make rent this month.
Right?
Like looking at his roommates like, can you guys
Right?
help me out?
Like,
Like
hey,
can I
you wanna-
recycle the cans this week?
Yeah, like, hey, you want to go out tonight? Oh, sorry, I got to pay my tuition. Like,
Isn't it like absurd though? Like how
Yeah, we're
like, I feel
we're
bad.
so lucky.
We're
lucky.
we're spoiled. And
Yeah,
lucky.
we're spoiled.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Well, you want to know what I miss most about college?
I do. I really do.
Well, first off, we had an off-campus place too, and we used to have this big couch and like this nice TV. It wasn't a smart TV, but it was a big screen TV. It kind of sound weird saying that, a big screen TV. But I really just missed watching like Money Manziel and like
Oh.
Texas and Alabama and who's your guy? AJ McCarron. Like I
AJ,
miss, right because
love
in
AJ.
college he was around. I miss watching those guys because they were like different. I don't know. They were like ballers like in college. Like think about AJ McCarron. He was dating Catherine Webb.
She's married to her.
He's
Now
married
has
to
a kid with
Like,
her.
He has a kid with her. I wanted that to be my life so bad that
everyone.
I wanted to be like the Manziel or like the McCarron, and I wanted to have a
She was
guy
Miss
know.
Alabama, right? Yeah, Miss
Who
Alabama.
was it? The announcer. What was his name? Like the famous announcer.
I know.
You know,
was it Musburger?
I think Musburger.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh wow." He's like, "All right, kids, better start throwing the football now."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, you're right though." Like everyone gave him crap about that, but he was right.
Oh, I really.
So I
wanted
miss
to
like
start.
I miss in college watching college football. Like that would like going out to like the brunches. Even on like Saturdays, you would go for like the brunch, and you knew it was going to be like a sick night. All your friends, like small little tiny school, went to Manhattan College. Shout out to like Jasper Nation, you know. Like you would go out.
Shout out Red Foxes while I'm at it. Shout out Red
Well,
Foxes.
Mac Attack. They were both in the
Yes.
Mac. Right?
No, you can't say Mac because
or no, I
because
can't.
the MAC
Oh, it's
is a
Mac,
Mac, and
right,
they're
yeah.
actually good.
Well, right, you're right.
What is it? Metro
Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Athletic
Yeah.
Conference. We suck at sports.
Do you know what I like about the Mac or our Mac? Is that like when you go out to a bar and you meet a girl from like Fairfield or you meet a, like Quinnipiac or what are the schools out there like Iona, like whatever.
You're saying back here when you meet a girl.
Well, yeah, like you go out to the bar, like, oh, where'd you go to school? And they're like, oh, Fairfield, like, and you could use the Mac. Or like Maris, I went to Maris. And be
Yeah.
like, yo,
I've done that. I've definitely done that.
we were both in the Mac. We're rivals.
Yeah, like,
and,
yo, your team would
and
always
even
be
though
my
you didn't
team.
go to the same school, now you have something in common.
Yeah.
And, like you're like, oh, like do you remember? Like, and like they don't remember. Like it was just a conference. It's not. But
Yeah,
I use
like,
it
like
almost
a girl. I met a girl from Sacred Heart, and like the first thing I said to her was like, "Oh, your football team always destroys my
right.
football
Well, because
team."
Maris, they are like small football schools, right? Like the small D1 schools.
Yeah, and
D1
she's like, yeah, I don't watch football. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, that's... Yeah, you know,
That's
how do you feel about that, though, if a girl doesn't watch football? Is that, like, an automatic, like... I mean, a lot of girls...
Listen.
don't watch
I know a
football.
lot of girls don't watch football, but the question is, are they willing to? Like, if you start a relationship with them,
Yeah.
are they willing
To
to
pick it up.
sit down and like on Sundays? Listen,
Right.
on Sundays, if
You're
my
not
girl
watching football.
if my girl asked me to go apple picking, I'd be like, you know,
Yeah.
find you
I
know,
like these apples, right?
Yeah,
That's
right?
Like the
Find someone else.
Damon, right, from like Good Will Hunting. Like, you would pull that on her.
find someone else because
Well,
on
now here's-
Sundays in the fall I am watching football.
Now, here's the thing.
No exceptions.
You don't know. How do you feel about, like, sacrifice? Like, you go apple picking with her.
I'll go apple picking with her on
How do you know
Saturday.
she's not going to buy you football tickets next week? You know what I mean?
All right, but
Or, like,
listen,
you know, like a...
I'll go on Saturday.
Right.
What's the
Saturdays
listen.
are for the boys, right? Yeah, I mean, now you're
True.
breaking a
Now,
couple
now
rules,
you
right?
kind of screwed me there because Saturdays are for the boys.
So
but
it's kind of weird because like we're told that Saturdays are for the boys, which is, you know, like shout out to Barca, like that's legit. But like,
but Sundays are really for
but
the
like
boys.
Sundays are for the boys in the fall and winter. But then like, where do you make like Netflix and like chill time? Like chill. Just, like, chill,
I mean,
hang out.
I make Netflix and chill during the week. Like,
Okay,
I get
right.
home from work, I take a nap, and I'll probably watch Netflix until I fall
Okay,
asleep.
no, that's fine. I'm just saying nowadays it's crazy because we're so manipulated by like society to think like oh like Saturdays are for the boys, which is true. Sundays are for football. Like Thursday nights like Netflix and chill. It's almost like we don't even like have time to like we don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're almost like already robots.
Yeah.
So when the robots come, it's like you lost. Like we're already robots.
What are you doing?
Like the
where
robots are going to be
at?
like more normal. They're going to be like, oh, do you want to go apple picking? You know, they're going to be like, oh, do you want to like go to the?
Apple picking's fun though.
It is. See,
I might lose my
knew
man
you would
card.
come along.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun.
But
What's your favorite apple? What are they? There's like that one apple that everyone knows, like the. What is it? Like the
What is it?
the green one, right? It's like a fan favorite. It's like,
It starts with an M, I think.
I think it does. And all the girls are like, oh, can we go and get these apples?
Apple cider donuts.
That-
apple cider, like just
Right.
apple cider.
Dude, and the girls
Oh.
love like the Dunkin' Donut thing. Like the Starbucks doesn't really have it, but Dunkin' has like
That's my like. If I go apple picking, which I had when I
Right.
went to school, where there are
Can
a lot
you,
of.
can you be good at apple picking?
I went to so listen. I went to school like 20 miles away from the Angry Orchard brewery.
Oh wow.
Where you know
Okay.
the cider,
Right.
and they had a big apple orchard there.
Okay.
So I've been apple picking.
So you've been
several
around
times.
the block in terms of apple picking.
I've been apple picking several times. What gets me through it is the apple cider donuts.
Okay,
I'm telling you,
that's
it's
like
my
your ish.
reward.
That's your ish.
I'm not going to eat apples.
You know what I think we're going to see this year a lot of, and I'm calling it now. I think it should be happening already. We're going to see a lot of pumpkins that are like that are like almost like Instagram themed. So like Saturdays for SAFTB. Like there's going to be like a lot of
the carvings.
The carvings. I feel like a lot of people are going to incorporate their carvings into like relevant themes now. Like you know what I mean? Like Netflix and chill in the carving. I'm talking about that a lot today. Wow, it's like really bad. But
Are you trying to tell me something?
KD, put him in an apple carving, and we'll light him up, and
Yeah.
that was random, but whatever.
So are we done with college? Do we got more to talk about?
The only other thing I miss is the fact that going to class was like such a challenge, and when you got through it, it was so rewarding. And now life isn't like that.
All right, I'm gonna.
So that's it.
The last thing. I never went to the library because I was a math major.
So
So
you
like
spent your time like in like apartments. And
I spent
dorms
I spent my time like I didn't
okay.
I didn't really
And you were
study.
like smart, so you didn't really like need.
Yeah,
to,
but like
right.
math isn't like I'm a teacher. Like,
Right.
Like education there are a couple tests, but math is just like you either know it or you don't. You can't really
Yeah.
study for it.
And you know what I found out growing up? I was really bad at math, but I started to realize that I because I was so bad that I would have good and bad math days. So if you're really good at math, every day's a good math day for you. Like you're always good at math. It just doesn't end.
Yes.
So when you're bad at math
You're
and you have a good
fucking
math
screwed.
day, it is like the nicest feeling ever. Like all the numbers start adding up. Like everything starts evening
Yes.
out. Like let X, like you're writing it out. Like you're taking your ruler.
Yes.
And you're like that's the best feeling when you're
Yes.
when you're
Yes.
shitty at math and you end up doing good at math for a day.
Yes.
You never really experienced that because you've always been good at
Well,
math.
you know what? I'm experiencing that now as a teacher.
Because now you're starting to
Because
realize.
now I'm
like,
starting to realize, not everyone's going to be as
you're like,
good
what
at
if one of your
math.
students hit you with like, hey, like, what is 13,645 times 89? And like, you didn't know it because you had to do it in your calculator, and he knew it.
Well,
That would be like kind of freaky.
you know
right?
what? That would listen.
Some of those kids though, like, they know that, right?
Like the famous
gifted, right?
famous mathematicians have stories of them like doing that, like
See,
being smarter than
and
their
I
teachers.
think that's like so badass.
Listen. You know,
what I
what?
mean?
If that happens to me, all right, I don't have to teach that kid for the rest of the year.
Right.
That's one less kid that
Could
I
you
got to
imagine
worry
if you
about.
have him like doing your taxes and stuff? You're like, hey,
I'd be like,
Rodrigo, like, what do you gotta
His name's Rodrigo.
Yeah, we'll
that's
call him
very
Rodrigo.
that's very unlikely.
racist.
Very
That's racist. Yeah.
well, very unlikely.
Unlikely too.
Kid,
All right,
yeah,
can we call him Mike?
yeah. Call him Mike.
Hey,
or
Mike,
John
what
or
are you
something.
doing after class?
But you know what? Yeah,
taxes,
he do my taxes. He can teach the class.
Teach the class, right?
No, I'm
Imagine you throw him a couple bucks. You're like, hey, just come on. Like, well, okay, attention to detail. Like, you gotta write neater, write more letter.
All right, last thing on college segment, and then we'll move on to our current events.
Cool.
Yeah,
because college is
on the
pretty
count of
fun.
three.
Okay.
Now we're just talking about
It's like
college.
Step Brothers now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Count of three. College beer of choice.
I'm very simple.
1, 2, 3.
Good
Natty
housekeeping.
Light.
Oh no, it was like the Step Brothers. Good housekeeping. It's like, when they say the magazine.
No,
right?
I was asking for the beer.
I know.
of choice.
I was just being like an idiot. Honestly, I was always a Budweiser guy.
Okay.
I know, and you know what? Like our grandpa, like Pops, right? He was. I heard he was a big Budweiser guy,
Yes.
and I feel like I subconsciously try to like continue that legacy. But like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like he drank Budweiser, I'll drink Budweiser, even if I don't like it that much. I just force myself to like it, and I ended up loving it. So that's like Budweiser was always like my go-to.
I liked the Natty Light because you could just drink like 40 of
Dude,
them.
they were like water. I mean,
They were-
I
Yo.
still love Natty Light.
You've never heard of this beer because
Right.
they are only sold at
Oh, like upstate.
Stewart's gas station.
Okay.
They're kind of the upstate version.
Jenny Light?
What?
Jenny Light? No, that's
No,
only
not
that's
Geneseo.
only
Not
Island.
Geneseo.
Oh, that's Geneseo's beer. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Makes sense.
It's only sold at Stewart's gas stations, which is just like our version of 7-Eleven.
Okay.
But it's called Mountain Brew.
I think I've heard of it.
You could buy a six. You could buy a six
Not
pack
sure.
for like $3, and it's like.
See, you know what I really took for granted in like I know we're supposed to move on to this, but like in college, like the beer when you got cheap beer, you felt good. You're like, I saved money. I'm getting through the week. Imagine we had that mindset now as like adult, like growing up, and like we're just like, oh, we got to buy beer for $3. Now like we'll buy beer in New York City bar for like $12.
Yeah.
Like that could take your girl on a date for like the whole week. Like in college, you'd be like, oh, let's get $1 slice of pizza. Like you know what I mean? Like now it's like $12 for a beer. It's like wow, like. This is stupid. You know, like,
all right, so let's move on to
the feels, man. The feels.
Yeah, let's move on to our feels.
How do you feel? This is like actually really important to me. Like, how do you feel about the world we live in now? With and this is very specific, like the girls on Instagram and like the thirst of like how like the Justin Biebers and like all these people,
hey,
I love Bieber.
Yeah, don't bring Bieber into this because this is a very negative.
Yeah, you saw where I was going now.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly where you're going. Don't bring Bieber.
How do you feel about? Okay, how about this? Let me rephrase. How do you feel about like a girl from your town or from like locally who posts like this very promiscuous, like hot, like nice, like good looking photo of herself on Instagram? Like, does she deserve like praise? Like, should you buy into that system? A quarterback? Oh, he really bought into the system. Like, should you drink that Kool-Aid?
Listen, I can't.
I'm a big Kool-Aid
I don't
drinker.
think I could date someone that has like 2,000 followers on Instagram.
I totally agree.
And has
totally
like 400
agree.
likes. That dude, I'm the type of person.
I'm an under 2,000 Instagram girl. Like if she's
under
got
2,000, I'm like under like 1,000.
You find that girl's got like 600 followers. You're like, oh, what are you doing later? Like.
It's hard to find.
Like lock her up in your house. Like
it's hard to find a very attractive girl that
has less than 700 followers.
But
that should be our thing. We should look for girls that have less than 700 followers that are like dimes.
But we can't promote them.
We'll call it 10 under 7.
But we
can't
call
it 10 under 7.
If we promote them on the show, then they're gonna end up getting like.
We'll call it 7-Eleven, like 711 followers that are like really like convenient and hot.
It's convenient.
And they're open all the time, but not open in a bad way. Open like accessible, not open like physically. That was weird. But,
yeah, I don't really like that.
But that should be a thing. Like 700 followers, like find a girl who's like hot.
Yes. I don't
2000
like listen.
man.
I'm all for using social media. I like social media. I use it a lot.
Right.
I feel like people nowadays literally use it so that they feel good about themselves. And that's their main
right.
And that's their main source of
right.
You know,
like let's say you took a paycheck or you saved a bunch of money and you bought this really expensive watch. Let's say you bought a Rolex, right? You know what? Screw it. Let's say you bought let's say you bought a Rolex. That's a pretty high quality watch. And you Instagrammed it. People literally might think like, wow, JG is like rich. Like he bought a Rolex. It's a $4,000 watch. But you could have blown all your money on it. Like now you're poor.
Yeah.
So the world we live in is so like backwards, man.
But people will will do what you just said mainly so people can be like, oh, like this kid's balling right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
Meanwhile,
and now
you're really
struggling
not
to like go out to the bar because you're like you have a nice watch on, but you're like the girl's like, oh, like how much money do you have? Like, not that girl would ask that, but if she asked that, you'd be like, well, I have a watch.
Yes,
that's the only thing you're worth.
Here's what I'm feeling about today. These are my feels.
Right.
What do you feel about politics aside right now?
Right.
I'm gonna bring Donald Trump up. This is not gonna be political.
That's okay. I mean,
what do you feel about these sports teams and not going to the White House?
So that's a really
now let me give you the backstory first.
Yeah, like the reference point.
If you haven't seen in the news, the Golden State Warriors won the championship last year. Obviously, obviously. Probably will win the next
W. Is that how Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, probably will win the next 15. But
next 25 years.
They we're going to have a meeting to discuss as a team if they should visit the White House.
Can I just give my simple solution? I know you're going to...
No, let me finish. Let me finish the story because this is important.
This is like important facts. Okay.
So Steph Curry has a press conference and says if it was just me we're talking about, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't be going.
And I like the way he goes about it. It's interesting.
He goes. I don't stand up.
He's a professional.
I don't stand up for what he's saying. Blah blah blah. So Donald Trump is kind of a step ahead of you guy. Mm-hmm. Like he heard, Steph Curry saying like the Warriors might not go to the White House. He doesn't like me.
Right.
So Donald Trump, being the Twitter expert he is,
I mean, he
goes out before.
But he comes ahead.
Yeah, before
always be late. But be early on this one. No, I'm serious.
Matt, let me finish the story. So before before Golden State formally declines the offer, Donald Trump says, "Oh, I heard what Stephen Curry said.
right.
The offer's taken back. You guys aren't
He, like,
invited
rescinded
anymore."
his offer.
He literally.
So you actually almost answered my question in a way. Like you answered your own, like the question you asked. So like, yeah, do you have any other feelings on that? Like, what else do you think about that?
So
Like,
so my main question with this is, do you respect what Donald Trump did, or do you hate it? I personally think it's such a low move.
it is a little bit of a low move. Here's how I feel about it. When you are the president, or when you're the team captain, or like the quarterback, or the point guard, or even like the shortstop in baseball, you are like in charge, kind of. So if you earn the right to be president, you literally
You're in charge.
You're the person who's making the call and dropping a nuke.
You're kind of in charge.
A
if you're
nuclear
the
bomb.
president.
So if you're the president and you want to rescind an offer to a pro team, you shouldn't feel guilty. There shouldn't be like a big fuss about it. The only reason why there's such a big issue about it is because then Instagram comes out, then people start tweeting, then people start posting Instagram posts. Do you agree with Donald Trump? Do you agree with this? He's sitting back with all his money in the White House saying it's a child's game. Like
he's a child.
Right. Well, he's a child, but he's also referencing a child's game. He's saying, "All right, you know what? Don't come." And I think the whole thing with like the people that don't want to go to the White House to begin with, they think that they're so much more like important than they are. Like think about people that are like medical researchers, like those people like curing cancer, people like astronauts. Those people, if they were invited to the White House to be like, "Oh my God, this is such an," you know, even if you don't like Trump, go to the White House, like look at the famous artwork on the wall, like look at the architecture, like take your kid there. Because 20 years from now, there's going to be a new president.
Yes.
And you can still say, "Hey, I went to the White House. I sat where Barack Obama sat." So if it's like a race thing, or like, you know, I don't like Trump because he's this, or like he's a bigot or whatever, like, right? You can still go and kill it. Not kill it. You don't want to kill anyone in the White House.
I'm a firm believer that if you don't like Trump, fine, but you should still go to the White House out of respect for the country.
You don't even have to respect Trump. Just respect the seat, the country.
Yes.
You don't even really have to. Like, nowadays, it's kind of crazy. You don't even really have to respect the country, which is sad.
And that will bring us into kneeling for the national anthem, which we won't get into.
We won't get into, but I am going to make one quick point about it. I think that it's a crazy, like the country we live in is so crazy. I know Trump said that the NFL team should start fining people for sitting. Really, at the end of the day, the owners can stop all this controversy. The owners can say, "You're going to the White House, where we're not giving you your paycheck. You're not kneeling. You're kneeling, or you're not kneeling." Honestly, it's the owners. Like if your principal said, "Yo, JG, like he wouldn't call you that, but yo, you got to go do this today." You would just do it. He's your owner. He's your George Steinbrenner. You
are an employee.
He's your,
you're an athlete, but you are an employee.
You're an employee. You're getting a paycheck. It's pretty cool.
Yes. He signed your paychecks. You listen to what he does.
Every time I've had like a job and someone was giving me like a paycheck or a decent paycheck, it's like, wow, this person's paying me. I'm just gonna be like,
he's got the power.
I'm just gonna be like nice to him or her.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, I know.
No, that was a good point, and I'm glad you brought it up.
That was good because we kind of stayed neutral. We didn't get too.
Yeah, I didn't want to get political on this show, but
we kind of did.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, let's show this, baby.
Let's Oh, you know what we forgot on our college segment?
Okay.
We forgot our 3 college locks of the week.
Oh, okay, yeah. So who do you like? Like, what's like the deal?
So I, being a Horned Frogs fan of TCU, they're playing Oklahoma.
Now, how did you become like a TCU fan? It's kind of cool.
It's not kind of cool.
I like the logo.
It's not kind of cool. It's actually pathetic. It's because of Andy Dalton.
Right. Oh my God, I forgot he went there. What about LaDainian Tomlinson?
Yeah, I just ordered a signed LT TCU jersey online. So
there's a few other guys who went there too, like
Jeremy Curley on the Jets.
Yeah.
Marshall Newhouse.
So there's a couple like defensive guys, right?
Marshall Newhouse on Oakland went there.
Right.
But TCU is plus what are they? Plus 13 and plus 10.5. I like them. I got them locked in. Okay. Alabama minus 20. Vanderbilt. I like them. And
you like them with the spread, like you like
with
them
with the spread,
okay.
And I like Michigan.
See, I do love college football. I'm not a big, obviously, I'm not a huge like gambler when it comes to college football. So I kind of look. Most of my picks are like last minute.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like in week 1, I wanted to take Florida Atlantic University over Navy, and that kind of backfired. So I kind of stopped. Because I thought, like, the last chance you guys were on, like, Florida Atlantic.
Last chance you guys.
So I was kind of like, I called it last chance AU, and people thought it was cool. And then they lost to Navy, and then I was like, all right, I'm done.
FAU, I think they'll pick up their first win this week. They got Buffalo.
What other intriguing matchups do we have? Like, what other...
Florida Atlantic versus Buffalo is going to be a good game. The spread's only 1.5.
Okay. What about, like, you know, like the head honchos, like, you know, like the...
UCLA Stanford will be a close game.
Oh, I love it. Now, is that a late game at night?
That yes,
like
yes.
it's like the West Coast, right?
10:42,
I used to love
yes.
like watching those games late at night at the bar
Because that's like the only game on, you know.
Yeah, but
so.
it's also good quality football, and it's cool because it's like West Coast football. It's like it's a little different than like the South, the SEC, and whatever.
Are there any other good games? Notre Dame, I think, is at Michigan State. That should be a
that
good
loss
game.
to Georgia, Notre Dame, that was kind of like weird. Did you watch that? It was like
I didn't watch it. I
was
really don't like Notre Dame, so I try to not
I try
watch
not
them.
to. They're kind of like a hypocritical school.
Yeah.
offense, offense,
Well, the thing with me is most people I know that like Notre Dame, I don't like.
right. That's a big thing too.
They get cocky, so
it's-
Duke UNC. Shout out to Gio Bernard.
That's this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is on at 3:42.
Dude, I love why I love the Duke UNC matchups because those football teams they're like hit or miss every year.
Yes.
Like they're like, oh, is Duke good this year? And UNC's got a lot of alumni from the school, right? They have like a lot of guys.
Gio Bernard, baby.
But no, UNC's got a lot of like big guys, right?
Probably. I'm not good with the college.
Julius Peppers? Is he with
Maybe.
UNC? Who's the tight end from UNC? Who's the Giants wide receiver from UNC? I'm sorry that I don't know it. Like I should know. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, we'll
Former Giants wide
we'll
receiver.
throw it in if we figure it out.
Sometimes I'm bad with that. I miss it.
Bets for the NFL. We will go with the spread here, right? Because obviously picking them head up is.
Here's the thing. Can you do the spread? Tell me what you like with the spread, and not that I'm trying to take the easy way out, but I want to just do like who I like as like the win.
Okay,
Is that cool? Right.
yeah, we can do that.
I mean,
if you want to be the safe,
Well, yeah. You're
Come
right.
on, take some risks.
I'll take some risks.
Take some risks.
I'll take some risks.
Let's do the spread. Let's do the spread.
So which ones are we going to discuss? Like, which ones are we focusing on?
Let's just go through quickly all of them.
Okay.
The entertaining ones we'll talk about a little bit.
So you know,
more.
I'm going to give you the platform. You go through it real quick, like who you like, and then I'll see who. And then we need this for next week because we're doing the win.
Yes.
Right?
I'm writing this down.
Dubs and Ls.
I'm a competitive guy. So.
Okay, well I'm going to write it down too. I'm competitive.
So
Haven't played Madden
first we got Sunday morning in London. We got Baltimore at Jacksonville. Baltimore is -3. I like that. Baltimore.
Okay, you like okay. So I'm letting you. Yeah, I'm kind of.
So all right, I'll get Baltimore. Who do you got in that game?
Oh man, you know what? God. You know what? It's really just a gut. Like I'm gonna take Baltimore.
Yeah. So some of these are guts.
Right.
I mean, you gotta take risks.
Right. Yeah, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
Cleveland.
Okay, I like this matchup.
Cleveland at Indy. Cleveland is -1.5. I think Cleveland is gonna come away with the win.
Okay, so me and you are squared off on Baltimore. We both have Baltimore,
Yes.
right? With the spread, like we.
Yes.
Whatever. I am gonna take Indy here.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm taking them is because I think Brissett in that quarterback, right? I think he's going to settle in. I think you're going to see a guy like him. He might be like kind of like I don't want to compare him to Matt Castle, but he might have like a good run in Indy, and then like that's going to be the end of it. We might not hear from him again, but maybe we will. But I'm going to take Indy.
Indy has looked very bad.
Right, I'm going to take Indy.
So.
Here's the thing: their running backs is a little messy. They have a few guys. They have like that. They have like the triple head monster off steroids kind of. They're not like the Cincinnati Bengals. They're running backs, but
Yes.
Marlon Mack might have a big week. We'll see. I don't even know if he's playing.
Okay, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at Chicago. Pittsburgh is
Pitch shy. You're pitch shy.
Pittsburgh's only -7.
right, cool.
I'm gonna go. I've picked every favorite so far. I'm gonna stick with it. I got Pittsburgh.
Okay, so far we got Baltimore. You got Baltimore. I got Indy, and now you're going with Pitt, and I'm gonna match you with Pitt.
Okay.
So
okay.
like I'm going with Pitt.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to Miami and New York.
What do you like here? I'm a huge Jets fan, by the way.
I think the Jets are gonna come out with a win here.
Well, I'm a big Jets fan, and I'm saying they're losing.
Okay.
And that's not like me like bashing them. Or, like,
well, they are +6. So would you
Right.
take the Jets with the spread here?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So you got Miami.
So this is Miami and YJ, right? The Dolphins are by 6, right? Dolphins by 6. I think the Dolphins are going to win by 21. And
Really?
that's like not me being
You know,
like,
do you know who throws the football for them?
a guy who's made a lot of money in the NFL.
Oh,
Right.
come on.
That's irrelevant.
You know
That's
that,
irrelevant,
yeah.
right. But do you know who's running the football for them? Well, is he questionable this week, Jay?
Jay. I think
Also,
so.
another thing, I'm also going to like take a hot take here, like make a prediction. I think Kenny Stills goes for leg. Is he playing this week? You know, I'm not on the injury report right now, but
believe so.
I think he's going to catch like a 55-yard touchdown. He's going to beat the Jets second.
Oh, well, is that a hot take?
I don't care if Darrelle Revis in his prime is like on him. I just think Kenny Stills it's just a gut feeling. I just think it's going to be like right off the bat, first quarter, Kenny Stills 7-0. Maybe they go for 2 because they're playing the Jets. I don't know. So I'm taking the Dolphins, and I'm a huge Jets fan. I hate the Jets now, so whatever.
let's go through this next one quick because the Bills suck. Denver -3. I think we're both locking in with that, right?
Well, I like the spread here. Like,
Really?
well, Denver -3. No, I'm saying I feel like that's easy for Denver.
Oh, yes.
And
Okay.
I think if you're like a gambler, like throw some money on Denver.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
is that really?
Yes.
That's actually the spread.
That is actually the
Wow.
spread. You're not seeing that.
No, I know. I just feel
The Bills?
I just feel like that's a lock.
God, if
I
you're
feel like that's like a lock.
Bills are the last
Master lock. We'll call it master lock, like the ones that are like very very locked in.
Houston, New England. This is tough for me because the spread
I'm
is.
taking Houston with I'll take them covering. I'm not. New England's going to win.
You have Houston covering?
Yeah.
I have Houston covering as well.
So you're going to write down Houston they're just
you know
covering, not
what? You know
winning,
what?
right?
Since we're very similar so far, I'm going to take New England covering.
So you're going to
I'm going to take New England winning by more than
you're
2
going to take
touchdowns.
So I'm going to take
You're going to take Houston. covering.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're dogs in this game. Houston's dogs by 14, right? 14 dogs, right?
New,
I'm taking Houston to cover.
okay.
Yeah.
New Orleans at Carolina. Carolina has looked very, very, very bad so far this year.
I really like I know New Orleans.
So do I.
And the reason why, I think Alvin Kamara, right, the running back, I think he's going to have a big game. And I think we're going to
Yeah.
I think this is the week. I think this is the week where you see running backs have the breakout games that make them household names.
How about
You know what I'm saying?
How about AP? I mean, he's crying on the sidelines.
I
He needs some touches.
So,
man.
so I definitely have New England covered because they're 5 dogs. They're right. The dogs by five dogs, whatever you want to call it. So I definitely like New Orleans, and I think it's because AP might have a good game. Also, is this the week that Willie Snead comes back, or is that's week 4?
I believe that's week 4.
Either way, just knowing that he's coming back, I think that they're gonna have a big week, and I think they're gonna win.
Okay, these are our hard knock boys. Tampa Bay -2.5.
Yep. I mean,
With
I hate I don't
Minnesota, Sam Bradford not playing.
I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Now,
I like the spread. I'll take like them.
Now, I was on my friend Lewis's podcast. This was Thursday.
Yeah, I think I heard
And
that.
he does. Well, now, I want to get your take on this because we were going through the bets, right? And
Let me hear it.
we didn't do it with the spread. He goes, if Minnesota has Sam Bradford, I'm taking Minnesota.
I heard that. It was a little weird.
Isn't that's ridiculous?
You know what?
You can't do that.
You know what I think?
You can't do the if scenarios.
You know, I don't like the if scenarios because in fantasy, when I had my 2 guys that got me less than a point last week, I didn't say, if my guy didn't get hurt, or if Aaron Rodgers threw one more touchdown, or last year when I lost, remember with Kelsey, I didn't say, if Travis Kelsey was on a date that night and he didn't show up to the stadium, I probably would have won $900 in fantasy.
That's why.
That's why be a little. Stick your guns, you know what I mean? Grades up or guns up.
That's
Shout out
why.
to Texas Tech.
That's why I came back at him and I said, if Tampa Bay scores more points than Minnesota, then I think Tampa Bay will win.
Okay. So
shit.
You're joking. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
You know?
And I was funny what you said to him. I heard you said whatever you say, man.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
if you're making the rules on your own, it's your own podcast. So
but you know
Lewis,
what?
this is my podcast now, and I'm making fun of you. So
We're making fun of him, but I think he was, his heart was in the right place, right?
well, obviously, if Sam Bradford plays, yes. I mean,
first of all, I literally think that when it's all said and done, 10 years from now, I think Winston will be a very good.
I think he will.
So I think
he will.
I like him in this game. I think this is where he starts actually start throwing the ball.
Like him in Hard Knocks.
He's got Evans and Deshaun. And the thing about Deshaun Jackson is that a lot of people think he's old. He's still only 29.
No, he's young. Did you watch Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah, not every episode.
I love the first episode when Jameis Winston's at his childhood house.
Oh my God! Now
and he goes.
Would you?
Look at these cockroaches over here having sex. Hey Jamal, come over here and look at this, man.
The reason why I thought it was so funny was because if you make $1 million and your family is living like that. You don't even have to
buy them a house,
you don't have to buy them a house. Buy them an apartment. Buy them somewhere where they just have a clean kitchen.
Yeah.
If you have $1 million in your bank account,
come on,
just help out. Give back a little bit.
They're saying they're cooking on the same grill that they used with 20 years.
But you know what? Is he on a rookie contract? Is that why? Is he on?
But he's got to be making endorsements.
And he's got endorsements.
Right?
Endorsements are big.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to this is I think going to be the best game of the week. Atlanta and Detroit.
I do too. My friend's starting Stafford in a 2-quarterback league, and I go, dude, start Alex Smith, take Stafford out. I think Atlanta, even though they choked in the Super Bowl this year, NFC champs, Bro, they're bringing like the noise. Like I
The
think.
spread is 3. So
Okay.
what do you got?
So I have Atlanta by 3. I think they're gonna win by 10. Like you know what I mean? But I'm gonna take Atlanta.
I'm going to take Atlanta as well.
Okay, yeah, I feel like we agree on that.
We got New York Giants +6 at Philadelphia. I have Giants winning this game outright.
The reason why I'm gonna go with Philly is because I think that I think the media is going to kill the Giants on this week. I think that there's too much pressure on them this week. And like Eli Manning, he's been in this situation for 2 Super Bowls, right? Like whatever. He's been there before, but I just think with Philadelphia, I think Wentz and Winston are going to finish this season as two of
Absolutely.
the top 10 quarterbacks. So because of that, it's almost like in
Absolutely.
Shark Tank. Like because of that, I'm out. Because of that, I'm in. Like I'm drinking Philadelphia's Kool-Aid. Like I like Philly. Like in this matchup, like I like Philly. Dude, it's definitely Philly. Man.
I'm a firm believer, and I'll get into this with another game that we'll do soon. I'm a firm believer that if you have talent on your team
Right.
and your backs are against the wall,
Right.
you
What do they
like,
say? Talent fails to work when someone works.
I think the Giants will show up. I think Flowers has a good game.
Okay.
I
Fair enough.
think that since their backs are against the walls, they're going to come away with the win. So
Okay.
I got the Giants. Seattle at Tennessee. Seattle +2.5. You haven't seen that spread in a while. Seattle's
Here's the
getting
thing. I
points.
love Mariota. I think he's like an athletic guy. I like. What's the deal with? Is it Derrick Henry, the running back in Tennessee?
Yes.
I like Seattle. I'm not gonna like beat around the bush.
So you got don't beat around the bush.
You like Seattle too?
I do
Okay.
not. I like Tennessee, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. Because,
you're actually keeping my picks too. Thank you.
yes.
Thank you. I got my. All right.
So I got Tennessee.
No, I respect that.
I like them this year.
But you know what? I think Tennessee sounds better on paper. They're like that girlfriend who's like
They've looked good
She
this
sounds
year.
good. She sounds good. She looks good. But then she comes to like your family party. She's just like a jerk.
Like the girl you match with on Bumble, and then you meet her in person, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh god.
Like you match with her on Bumble, and she's like the shit. Like she has all these hobbies.
Yeah.
I love going for runs.
And
I go to
she
the beach.
looks good.
Sometimes I surf in the summer, and then like you hang out there, and she's like, what do you want to do? What do you wanna do?
Yeah.
It's like all right.
Um,
It's like, all right.
All right,
Please,
Kansas City -3 at LA. I got Kansas City. Kansas City is
well, so
my
do
team.
I. So do I. So
Kansas City is my team to make
You know
the
what I think is
AFC
so funny about Kansas City?
championship.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut it. I think it's funny about Kansas City is I think Mahomes is just sitting on the bench. He's like Aaron Rodgers right now. Like he's just learning from. I'm not going to compare Alex Smith to Brett Favre. I'm just saying, Alex Smith is a pretty consistent quarterback for now because of his team. So,
But look
Mahomes is
how
learning. That's fine.
Look how Rodgers turned out. It turned out fine. So I think Mahomes.
I think Mahomes will be more of like he probably won't be like Rod, but yeah,
No.
I agree with yourself.
All right, I want to talk a little bit more about this game since
this is your squad.
This
I didn't talk about
is-
the Jets though.
This is my squad. Well, you had your opportunity.
and I didn't want to.
yeah. Well, my team's actually.
It's like
supposed
you
to
with the Mets. Like you don't really want to talk too much about them. You know?
The Bengals were supposed to be a little better this year.
Do they have like a nickname, the Bengals? You know how like the Chargers get called like the Bolts, like the Jets get called like
the Bungles, because they suck.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Okay, so let me talk. Just give me a minute with
Yep,
the
yeah,
Bengals
yeah,
because I
yep.
want to talk a little bit about them.
Yep.
Bengals, only team in the NFL not to score a touchdown so far this year. Fired their offensive
That's
coordinator.
insane.
Fired their offensive coordinator. Both games were at home. Marvin Lewis goes out and says to all of his offensive players that you're playing for your job.
Right.
Meanwhile,
he's playing for his job in a way, right? But he
no,
wasn't the past
he's
20 years,
not,
right?
because he hasn't been fired for 15 years.
15 years, right.
Second longest tenured coach other than Belichick. Never won a playoff game. He
Wait,
sucks.
isn't McCarthy?
No.
he's right below Marvin Lewis.
He must be. I know Marvin Lewis second.
Okay,
He sucks. Andy Dalton. I said this on my friend's podcast. I'm going to say it again because it's a great analogy. He reminds me, Andy Dalton. I'm talking about.
Oh, I like what you're about to say.
He reminds me of that ex-girlfriend
Right.
that you dated for a long
year,
time.
whatever.
A long time.
Okay. 12 years.
12 years,
okay.
1 year, whatever.
Yeah.
You're finally getting over, and then all of a sudden, out of the
Working
blue,
out.
out of the blue,
Got the gym.
out of the blue, this girl texts you, "Hey," with 2 eyes.
Right.
Andy Dalton.
I'm actually being serious. You get that text.
So Andy Dalton is the kind of guy comparable to this girl that has 2 horrible games.
Okay.
I'm talking 0.6 QBR games.
Right, like games where he almost gets benched, but doesn't
Yes.
quite get benched. Right.
Yes.
When he doesn't get benched.
Horrible games.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden he'll throw for 4 touchdowns.
And then you know what happens after that?
Yo, Andy Dalton's amazing.
Not even
Everyone says that.
or like the metaphor, like new phone, who dis? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know,
Like yo,
Like,
I'm
yo,
the man
I'm-
again,
like,
and
yo-
then the cycle repeats.
like
Right.
yo, I'm turning the page. So Andy Dalton's that
It's
guy.
kind of like, yeah, a lot of sports can be compared to that.
I
like,
got Cincinnati definitely covering with the spread.
Okay.
The spread is 7.5 on one bet
So yeah,
Vegas.
I'm 100% taking Green Bay.
You can take Green Bay. That's fine.
And you know the
But listen, I can see Cincinnati winning this game.
No, dude, trust me. And I know you're not just saying that because you're a fan. It's an intriguing matchup because they're kind of like in the hot seat. What are they? Was like the Jim Rome show,
just
the hot seat.
just like the Giants, their backs are against the
But
wall.
the only thing about it is that I think that at the end of the day, you could put Aaron Rodgers with high school All-Americans or like D2 college players as wideouts. He would still win. He's that.
Didn't win last week.
I know. I know. I mean, like in general, like I always have faith that he can win. Like Aaron Rodgers is just like that guy who like you have faith in. He's like a church. You go there. Just
I have faith in Tom Brady. That's it.
Okay. Well, he's the GOAT.
I think John Ross has a good game. I got. I originally had Green Bay 31-24. I'm gonna change it to Cincinnati 27-24. That's my
Okay.
bold,
So
completely out of the box.
Okay.
It's probably not gonna happen.
But you know what? I think I liked what you said on I had a chance to listen to your podcast. You said that because your friend was saying, "Oh, well, they haven't scored a touchdown," and they haven't scored a touchdown yet. And you go, "Yeah, but like everyone's playing for their jobs." So
Yeah.
like, what? Who's to say this week they're not gonna
Listen, if they don't score a touchdown this week,
Right.
Andy Dalton's
Yeah.
benched.
Also, let me ask you: how's the kicking game there? Are they?
It's good. It's
Okay,
actually good.
so
they
like-
haven't missed any field goals.
So that they can kick field goals, so they can play small ball for a little bit. Like they can play that small ball, like
Well,
run
they could
ball.
play
you
small
know,
ball if
right.
they get in field goal range, which they haven't done. All right, let's move on to Oakland.
They're still trying to replace Giambi over there in Cincinnati.
Oakland at
Oh, yeah.
Washington. Oakland's -3. I got Oakland comfortably with the spread.
Well, I'm gonna go with Oakland too, and just because Peter Rosenberg's a Redskins fan, right? He doesn't shut up that guy about how he's from the greater DC area.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, like he brags about how he's from like the DMV, like from like Washington DC, like Maryland. It's like, dude, it's not really that great. Like I have family there. Like it's a cool state, but just shut up. So I'm going with Oakland just because of that.
Okay, well, lastly, we got Dallas at Arizona. Monday night. Much better than Thursday night games.
Right.
Dallas at Arizona. Dallas is only -3. So I'm going to take Dallas easily in this game.
Well, if Seth Curry is at that game, then I'm taking down. No, I'm kidding.
Seth?
Yeah, because he plays on the
'cause
mat. I don't know.
yeah.
I've seen him at one of the games on TV, so I was like, all right. But I'm definitely going to go with Dallas here. I think, what are the chances that Ezekiel Elliott has a, like you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like the funk has to
Two
end.
bad games in a row.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you're in a slump, it has to end.
But listen,
Just like if you're in a hitting streak, it has to end too.
Ezekiel Elliott, it's a news if he is Netflix and chilling on a Friday night.
I know.
Instead of punching her in the face.
It's really bad.
He's got to change his life.
He kind of reminds me, we talked about it earlier in this segment. It's like KD. It's like, listen, you have all this money. Go put a built-in pool in your backyard if he doesn't already have one. Go invite girls over, and be mature. You don't have to do anything stupid. You don't have to just have fun.
Yeah.
Like you don't have. Yeah, it's just like really frustrating to hear these people with money that just don't do anything fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, and he's got to change his life around. What do
you mean?
He's 21 years old.
I know we weren't going to get political too, but like we also don't even really know if this guy is like guilty, right? I mean, we kind of do, but we don't, right? There's no proof.
I mean,
right?
yes, but his attitude kind of speaks.
Him and Ray Rice are almost kind of one and the same. Let's be real. And Joe Mixon. A lot of these guys get.
Yeah, why don't you just list every single guy that's punched a girl in the face?
I mean, it shouldn't. The list shouldn't be that long, right?
Tyreek Hill, what's up?
But it is long.
It is long.
In the NBA, it's not as much like punching. It's more of like, oh, he has a gun on him. Right, like he brought a gun to the locker room.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, that's like is that Javaris Creighton, him and Gilbert?
Yeah. No, it's sad, and I can never think of any scenario where I would punch a girl in the face.
No,
but some people it's just different. Some people it's just different.
You know what it is too. It's like I think a lot of these athletes, just in general, they also are very like I'm not making an excuse for it, but like they're very like spur of the moment type guys. Like they go out
uneducated too.
Yeah, a lot of you know what that is a big issue though.
As a few,
and that's why I think you look at quarterbacks that seriously, I'm being serious about this, that are educated. They tend to have like a better even Fitz for the Jets. Like he had that he came in with that Harvard degree, man. He was just holding his resume that whole time. He was like, listen, I think he also finessed his contract with the Jets. Didn't he get like $12 million for like 1 year?
Yeah,
like,
something like that. I mean, the Jets are not a good run
No,
organization.
I know. Yeah, I mean, just
all right. So we differ on. I have Cincinnati. You have Green Bay.
Okay.
I have Tennessee. You have Seattle. I have the Giants. You have Philly. I have New England. You have Houston.
Right.
I have the Jets. You have Miami.
MIA, baby.
and I have Cleveland. You have Indy. So those
Yeah,
are
I kind of stole that Indy pick from a lot of a lot of the pro. Been listening to like ESPN radio and stuff like that. And, there's some of the guys are saying Indy might come out with it, but it's a gut feeling. They're all gut feelings.
And so we'll come back next week. We'll see who wins the most games, and the winner will present the winner of the week, and the loser will present the loser of the week.
Sounds good. And the funny part about coming back next week is like Netflix. It's so popular. I'll probably already have a different favorite show. I'll have another favorite show.
You better not be talking about the same show.
Yeah. And you probably won't even like A Boogie. Like you'll like him, but you'll like someone else.
I will always like A Boogie.
That's for life.
Shout out A Boogie.
All
right. So speaking of A Boogie, that's a perfect segue.
Awesome.
That's going to be it for our show. We covered everything. You got any last thoughts or anything?
Just guys, be safe. If you're gonna go out, on the weekend. I mean, this is irrelevant because this is like a Sunday-based podcast.
Did you have a bad experience last night or something?
Yeah, I always. Honestly, if you're gonna go, just wake up in the morning, go to like Monday through Friday. Just be careful.
Yeah, I mean, I was driving to get breakfast at 7:30 in the morning today,
Right.
and I see.
Oh my God.
I saw you.
I think that's like that needs to be like how we kind of just click clack.
I gave you a ride home though.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative.
Yeah,
I then I bought you a bagel. I bought you a bagel.
Yeah, we're
And
even.
so
We're well even.
Not on the spreads, but we're even.
All right, so that's it for our show. So that will be it.
That'll be it.